guess what's been on my mind a lot is accountability. I don't know why it's so hard for some people. I don't know why it's a thing that people like. I don't know. I'm big on like fairness and balance and shit. So it's like if everybody took ownership of their own part, everything would be balanced out. I mean, in very rare cases, is it totally 100% just one person's fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, even in extreme cases. Now, I'm not talking about kids. We're not talking about kids. Now, that's something totally different. I mean, get me started on that. But I mean, like, as far as, like, adults and stuff like that, you know, like, besides your, like, extreme cases and stuff like that. But when you have, like, I'm talking about, like, disagreements or, you know, like, domestic relationships or, you know, like, domestic partnership or marriage, whatever, you know, like, it's never, or family, it doesn't matter, like, it's never, almost never is it always 100% one person's fault. Like, everyone plays a part, even if it's a minor part. Like, even not speaking up is an action, or it still has weight, or it still matters, or, you know, like, you still have to take accountability for that, even if you are like, well, I just sat back and I didn't say anything, I didn't do anything. Well, that inaction is an action. It's a choice. You know, you made a choice to not step in when maybe you should have. So, like, you know, there's just really not a whole lot of situations where we're completely innocent in the situation. Like, and so I'm just like, okay, so let's just say that, you know, like with my family, we're always beefing. You know, I don't want to go into the whole scapegoat thing, because then it's, you know, people are like, oh, she's just, you know, playing victim and shit. No, if you get to know me, like, you'll understand, like why I'm saying this or whatever. But, you know, like, with the scapegoat role that I have, it's always some drama with me and my family. And, you know, my parents are divorced, and then I've got my dad and his wife dealing with that, and then my mom, who is a master fucking manipulator, and then, you know, my sister trying to be the peacemaker, but she's also, like, controlled by my mom and doesn't even know it. So it's like this big, like, mess, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like everybody plays their part, and that includes me. Like, you know, me flying off the handle or saying something out of emotion, or, you know, just whatever, jumping the gun, making assumptions. Doesn't matter. Like, even if it's a minor part, everyone almost always has some part in it, you know? And it's just like, if everybody, this is the point I'm trying to get to, if everybody would take accountability for their own part, everybody would take ownership of what is rightfully theirs, then everything would balance out in the world and everywhere. The problem with people who don't have the ability to take accountability, this just irks me to my soul, because they demand things of you that they quite literally cannot do themselves. Like, that's the situation that I'm in now. Like, my boyfriend is always demanding that I take accountability, and I'm like, I don't even think you know what that is, or what that means, or what that, you know, what that implies. You know, like, you have no idea what taking accountability actually is, because you're too scared. You know, like, that's really what it boils down to, is insecurity and fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, fear of being wrong, or being seen as wrong, or being seen as the bad guy, or whatever. It's just like the fear of being this thing. But it's just like, this is what kills me, is people not being in touch with reality. Like, bro, if you know you did it. Like, he will hurt the fuck out of me, and then, like, swear, like, make up in his mind that he didn't. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, he's so afraid to see himself that way. And I'm just like, but even if you ignore it or try to blame your actions on me or whatever, like, the reality of the situation is that you did what you did. You know what I'm saying? You did call me out my name, like, several times in a very short time span. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then after the fact, you want to justify it or act like it didn't happen at all or say it didn't happen or whatever the case. And it's just like, I don't know. And I'm just like, bro, how are you going to tell me to take accountability? You don't take accountability for shit. Like, you literally don't take accountability for anything. And here's the biggest part of it. Like, I really could go into, like, a whole series on, you know, self-accountability, and I just don't have time right now. And I, like, had a coworker walk past behind me. I'm like, this is super awkward, but this is what I want to say. I guess this is the main point, is that, and I said this in another video, but people who can't take accountability, for one, they don't have self-awareness. If you don't have self-awareness and you don't know how to take accountability, then you are completely unable to grow as a person. Like, you cannot develop your character. You cannot, you know, work on who you are or become a better person today than you were yesterday if you can't take an honest look in the mirror. If you're not self-aware enough to know that, like, you're fucking up, you know, like, or the places that you are fucking up, you know, like, you have to be aware and you have to be willing to take responsibility for that. Nobody's perfect. Like, I don't know, and you can't grow like that. And then sorry, I'm getting over this cold, but so you can't grow like that. You cannot. Character development is absolutely 100% impossible if you lack self-awareness and lack self-accountability. Like, you cannot do it. You cannot grow as a person. You can't, because you can't see your problems and you can't admit to them. So, like, that's the whole thing. Like, how do you fix a problem that you don't believe is a problem, or you're unwilling to see as a problem, you know, or you blame it on whatever you do, you blame it on other people. It's always someone else's fault, you know. So, like, that's already bad enough in my eyes, because, like, I heard Pink say this in an interview one time. I'll never forget it. I love Pink so much, but she said that she goes to therapy every week, and whoever the interviewer was like asking her, well, you know, what is it about therapy that you're so big on or whatever? And she said, I never want to be unaware of my own bullshit. Or maybe she said it is, I always want to be aware of my own bullshit. Like, I don't ever want to have a blind spot where I think I'm right, or I'm doing everything right, or, you know, like, whatever the case. Like, if I'm on some bullshit, I want someone to call me out and tell me I'm on some bullshit, you know. And that's like really how I feel too. I always want to be aware of my own bullshit. Like, I'll call myself out on my own bullshit and then tell you that this is some bullshit that I don't plan on fixing at the time. You know, like, there's a lot of things that I should fix in my life, and I can take accountability for them, and I can tell you this is where I'm fucking up, and I can also tell you that as of this present moment, it's not something I'm working on. It's not. It's not at the top of my list. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So, anyways, that is character development is huge to me. Having a growth mindset, wanting to become a better person. You know, like, trying to, like, get rid of, like, impurities and all that stuff. Like, I just think of, like, you know, cleansing my soul and becoming more pure-hearted, or having a more pure soul, and getting rid of, like, all that, like, junk in there, like, from trauma and just, like, bad mindsets and, you know, just whatever, like, things that have caused, like, these toxic seeds to take root. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want them motherfuckers pulled up and burned, and I want to, you know, plant good seed, and I want to do good and give good and put good out. So, like, I work on myself. And so, if you're the type of person that doesn't, and you're stuck in your ways, and you think you're right all the time, and you don't do anything wrong and all this stuff. And it's just like, I just can't even really have a whole lot of respect for you. Like, I can't, like, it's just not acceptable. I want to say, like, you're a weak person, and honestly, like, that is true, but I'm not going to say it like that, because a lot of it is just a lot of it I don't even think they realize is a thing, if that makes sense. Like, they don't realize that they're doing it, or they don't realize the implications of it. So it's just like, yeah, I'm calling them weak, but, like, they don't even know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've never taken accountability or taken a solid look at themselves, so they don't know, like, why it's so frustrating to me that they don't, or why they seem to think I don't take accountability when it's them, or whatever. But anyways, I just went off on a tangent with that, because it's just something I'm dealing with right now. But also with self-accountability, especially in relationships, family relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. This is important that people need to understand. If you're in a relationship with someone that cannot or will not take accountability, there is no such thing as effective communication or conflict resolution. You can fight and then try to talk it out, and fight and try to talk it out, and fight and try to talk it out, and do this over and over and over again. But if that person is not willing to take responsibility for their part, then basically, like, you're not getting anywhere. Like, the communication is not effective, because it's not an even playing field. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have extra whatever that, extra special stuff that's helping them win. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've got cheat codes while you're, like, actually, like, playing the honest way, And it's just like, it's just, like, not fair, and it's just impossible to resolve conflict. You cannot do it. Like, how do you resolve conflict when you're sitting there taking responsibility for your part, but they're not taking responsibility for theirs? So it's unfair, and then you might be working through the things that you did wrong, like me, if I admit it. But in this situation, like, in the areas where I do take accountability, then he takes that and blows it up and runs with it. And he will fucking wear that shit out. He's like, even you said da-da-da-da-da, and then carry that shit on. I'm like, because I take accountability for something, you take it and run with it. You have not taken accountability for shit. But anyways, so I had a point one, I don't know, I'm probably just gonna make shorts from this, but point one, self-accountability. You can't develop character. You can't grow as a person if you can't take an honest look at yourself. You have to, if you care to be a better person. And if you struggle with self-awareness or self-accountability, or you don't even really understand, like, what I'm trying to say or what I am saying, go to therapy. Therapy will help you. They'll pull it out of you, and then you'll start to see, like, some things, like, honest to God, really do take, like, a professional, like, third party, someone who can be clearly objective, to pull those things out and help you see. So, like, if you care, if that's something you're interested in, go to therapy. And then also, like, for my people out here who are in relationships with people that can't take accountability, just give it up. If you're in a situation like what I'm in, where I can't leave, you know what I'm saying, I don't have the means to leave right now, just give it up with the fighting. Don't sit there and try to reason with this person, convince them, whatever. Just let it go. Like, you're just wasting energy that you could be using doing other shit. That's what I'm telling you. And then when you can get away, because there's no conflict resolution. You will not grow as a couple. You know what I'm saying? There is no emotional validation from them to you. It's not fun. And it's frustrating, and you just got to get to a point where you just have to accept that this is the way that it is, and it's going to be this way. And unless they really are willing to go to therapy and shit like that and change, like, it's not changing. Like, it's not. These people rarely actually do change. They're scared to change. It's scary to look at yourself. It is. I'm not gonna sit here and like, oh, it's so easy. No, the fuck it's not. Like, I'm a mom. I lost custody of my child when he was 1 year old, and he's now 13, and I'm still dealing with, like, I'm in his life and stuff like that, but I'm still dealing with, like, the pain of, like, not being the mother that I wanted to be, and, like, missing him, and, like, having to deal with my mom who has custody, and, like, how we have a rocky relationship already, and she'll use him against it's just a big fucked up mess. You know what I'm saying? But, like, the majority of it, I have to blame on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did this to myself. Like, I was not being the mother that he needed, and I really haven't ever, like, for any, you know, significant amount of time have I ever been stable enough or whatever to even be the mom that he deserves, you know. So, like, that shit cuts deep. It hurts. You know, I cry about it all the time. I just randomly start crying, thinking about it, and cry, and I have to, like, get it out, you know. So, like, it's painful to look at yourself. It sucks. I mean, it does. It sucks. It's really hard. But you can't heal if you don't. You can't grow if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just, and you don't get all that toxic, nasty stuff that's, like, you know, gunking up or clogging up, like, your soul, or, like, making it, like, you know, look, ugh. You know, it's like, ugh, on the inside. Like, you know, in the Bible, Jesus was, like, calling out the Pharisees for being hypocrites, and he's like, you know, the outside of your cup is clean, but the inside is filthy and nasty. And he also called them, like, whitewashed tombs. And it's just like these people that put on this fake persona of, like, everything's great and they're perfect and all this shit, and it's just like, and inside you're just like a big jumbled up mess of, like, nastiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing that you're putting out on the surface is actually really, like, who you are, like, internally. Like, it's a mask. Like, you're fake. And here I am looking like a whole fucking mess, having to record videos at Waffle House, like, before I get home and all this shit, and it's like a whole mess, like, on the inside. Like, I know that I'm becoming a better person every single day. Like, I know I treat people well. I know that I have a good heart. I know that I see people in a positive way. I know that I have something to give, that I want to help, you know, others. Like, I have a heart for people. So yeah, I'm a mess on the outside, but I'm pure on the inside, and I think I'd rather be that way than the opposite. Actually, I know I would. Like, this is my mess, but I'm gonna help somebody. Somebody is gonna benefit from this big mess. It's a huge fucking wreck of a life that I've lived, and the shit I've put myself through, and everything else, you know, and, like, bad circumstance after bad circumstance. Like, something good is gonna come out of this.